Gigantic.
Pop. January 6th, 2025. It is the beginning of a brand new era, the Netflix era for WWE. And this is Gigantic Pop. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri, here to talk about WWE's Netflix debut. And I think it goes, the moon landing, the MASH finale, and WWE debuts on Netflix.
The MASH finale, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care how much of this was self-aggrandizing tonight, what they did. That opening package voiced by Triple H about the history of professional wrestling and talking about shoots and works. I mean, that was just a huge leap forward for WWE to put professional wrestling in the context of modern society.
If I can, Raj, just take this part. So I put it on Twitter. It made me cry because pro wrestling was my best friend in grammar school, in middle school, in high school when it wasn't cool, college in the beginning when it wasn't cool, in college again when NWO and WCW really hit it big. And it had always been my best friend on crappy days. Girls dumping me, my girlfriends dumping me, having a bad game in basketball, whether it's high school or college level. Pro wrestling had always been my best friend, without question, and especially WWE. And to see them and Hunter's prelude for kicking off the WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix made me cry not once but twice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it really hit home. I mean, it hit home just how long I've been watching it too. And I was kind of in the same boat as you, Matt. Growing up, we moved around a lot, and so make some friends here, then we move, and it took a while to make new friends, but wrestling was kind of always there. So always had a relationship with wrestling, and seeing a lot of those clips, it's like, holy shit, I've seen a lot. I saw that moment when that happened. Yeah. And it just kind of really hit home. And, it almost felt like with that video package for a second, it's almost like the end of an era, but it's the beginning of a new era. And it's really cool. And, I think, did all of you watch the first Monday Night Raw as it aired?
Of course. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know if Glenn did.
Parts of it.
But, just remembering the Undertaker and Damian Demento and, seeing Undertaker back, for this first episode of Raw on Netflix, it was really cool. It was really well done.
But to be fair, that first Raw episode, I did not think that was anything different at the time, if I'm being honest with you, from any weekend show or weekly show, etc. I did not. I just thought it was going to be another thing just to put for them in the can. I had no clue that first episode of Raw was going to become what it became tonight, right? No clue.
And especially, because that first episode of Raw, when they did it at the Manhattan Center, I thought it was a cool atmosphere, but it also felt like this is where wrestling's headed. They can't do big arenas anymore. They're having to move to these small arenas. It's losing popularity. And so, here we are, however many years later, 20, 30, 30s, 31, 32. And the arena looked just amazing. The way they had it lit, the lights. I mean, it just looked so like from the future.
So, guys, I'm a huge NBA mark. I follow all NBA teams, not just one. And when I heard the Clippers were building a new Intuit Dome, I was very excited about it because they have on every seat in that arena a sensor that can tell you who is the loudest fan in the arena chanting or cheering. That's insane. Insane. The technology in that stadium is second to none. Yeah. So if I was disappointed about one thing tonight, I was disappointed that they waited to Seth Rollins to come out tonight to post what the sound was, because I would argue any day of the week and 2 times on Sunday that when The Rock came out, it didn't get louder than that afterwards, with respect to the talents on the show.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely, it's a 3-hour show, so it's definitely louder earlier on. And the Punk Rollins match,
Great.
match started. Yeah, well, we'll wait to get to it, but
Right.
it definitely wasn't the loudest of the night, even
Well,
though it got
yeah.
louder as the match went on.
It
And
did.
let's talk about some of the things that we wondered about
Mhm.
Raw on Netflix tonight. So number one, there were still commercials. Even if you have the most
Mhm.
expensive Netflix plan,
We saw
there were
commercials.
commercials tonight.
There
Yeah.
were.
Uh,
So
Which
let
was
me
the
ask
same.
you. Let me just tell you both this. So I started Netflix Raw 15 minutes after it started.
ah,
So I was very fortunate to be able to fast forward through the commercials.
they left those in for you, Matt.
Nope.
Eh,
I've hit plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10.
Well, so okay,
But
second,
the NFL games were the same way. They had commercials on
Gotcha.
Netflix. The Tyson fight, they had the Netflix commercials during the show. But yeah, NFL. So it looks like the live sporting events and Raw obviously are gonna.
and by
have
the way,
commercials.
WWE now not only got multiple Brinks trucks from Netflix, they're able to sell commercial ad space on this as well
which
across
I
all
not,
tiers.
which I did not think was going to be able to happen. I really
No,
didn't.
no, I thought it was going to be like watching the PLEs on Peacock. Second thing we
Me
found
too.
out tonight,
Mhm.
show tonight ended at 8:03 p.m. on the West Coast. So we got a roughly 3-hour
No.
Raw. Everyone was like, well, maybe it'll be 2 hours, maybe it'll be 2.5 hours, maybe it'll be 3.5 hours. But I'll tell you one thing, because they're able to sell that commercial time, they see value in keeping it. They're like, the audience is used to 3 hours. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll keep it at 3 hours.
And we don't know that just yet of what the overall strategy will be.
Mhm.
Even Hunter cannot ask that. He cannot answer that straight moving forward on the SI interview he did.
Yeah.
As far as will it be 2 hours, will it be 3 hours? He said, "Hey, look, we don't want to sandwich ourselves to a specific time.
Yeah.
We want it to, which I like because guys, on certain episodes, this will end on 2 hours and 37 minutes. And none of us will see that coming, and it'll be great because it will put the exclamation mark on the show. It needs to have that exclamation mark. Whereas so many of us are conditioned to USA or the other channels they've been on over there, even Spike before that we knew for sure 3 hours, and we knew the end of the show was going to come on the last minute of those 3 hours. Now it all shit's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you always knew when the match is going to end.
Right.
You're like, oh, we
And
can't. There's 15 minutes left in the show.
And Raj, it would tip their cap to how the complete show would finish because we knew it had to complete after 3 hours. So I like
absolutely. This. Yeah, it does bring unpredictability and that they can go over as long as they need to. Other thing, WWE that has been using fancier cameras but still broadcast in HD through Fox and USA tonight in 4K. Now, I don't know if it's because I took like a month-long break from watching wrestling or because everything was in 4K tonight. Everyone looked much older to me than I remember them being the last time I watched Raw.
So I will say this: it had a WCW pyro tint to the show. I got to be honest, it did. I'm not saying that's a good thing. It did. The smoke was still in the arena when guys were still in the ring about to start wrestling. And WWE on their shows with their former networks were always very good about getting the smoke the freak out of the ring.
Yeah.
And with, like you said, high def cameras, et cetera, et cetera. But for some reason tonight, I will agree. I'm not complaining about it because I cried multiple times watching tonight's episode. So I can't now like be a hypocrite and say this wasn't an amazing episode.
They did a very good job tonight in how they presented it and put it over. Let's take our guesses because I do think they're going to release maybe not the complete viewership numbers, but they are going to release some sort of there's got to be some grandiose stat. So when they say, Raj, when they say X number of people tuned in or watched Raw,
it'll be first time.
Yeah.
First time watching it live. That'll be the number.
What's the number? I assume they're going to go worldwide. What the number, like how many are?
Raj, you can't predict that. Don't even pretend you
can. I got a good prediction.
What did Tyson Paul do?
Wait, hang on. Raj gave us his number.
5 million.
5 million.
What did Tyson Paul do?
Time out.
Yeah.
Where do you get the number from, Raj?
Well, just looking at what the NFL did overseas compared to what they usually do in the US, and then, just kind of looking at those numbers and what WWE normally does overseas. Most of their viewers are in the US.
So let me
you
ask
look
you,
at their Canada numbers, it's
can
really small compared to.
I ask you a dumb question then? Because I started the show 22 minutes after it started, just purposely, so I can fast forward through commercials. Is my number not included in that, or is it?
So for the way Netflix does it, because they're not using the Nielsen ratings.
Yeah.
So Nielsen, so if you were watching it on USA, right, and you were a Nielsen subscriber, then every minute you counted was part of the average, because it's complicated, but it's how many people on average are watching each minute. So if you watch 1 minute of 2 hours, you're 1/20th of a viewer. Whereas Netflix, you're one viewer. They would say one, you would be one, not 1/20.
Even though I started at 8:22.
They're not going by how many minutes you watched.
No, they're going to count.
Somebody watched starting at 9:40,
right.
I'm sorry, an hour 45 into the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And with how these streaming numbers work, a lot of times it's not. You could watch the whole show, or you could watch a minute. You're counted as a viewer on streaming. Whereas with Nielsen, that's not the case.
Okay, even if you're behind watching the show, catching up. So let me give you an example. In the main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, you watched the last minute of it, Raj. Are you considered a viewer?
Yeah.
Okay, you educated me today. I did not know that.
Because it's like on YouTube, when a video starts playing right after you watch another video, you count as a viewer for the next video.
Yeah,
even though
that's true. Yes.
So it's kind of the same way with how streaming does.
Tyson Paul, 65 million concurrent streams
at the
108 million live viewers globally.
Oh my God, don't confuse me.
No, but this is how they do it. I'm telling you, these are the type of stats they're going to release. Raj, it's got to be more than 5 million. Right. There's no way. 5 million maybe in the US, but when they say worldwide on this, I think it's going to be at least 30 million cumulative people. You don't think, if you count everywhere Netflix is, and if people want to go and see The Rock's promo or something, you don't think they're going to say 30 million at least watched like a second of this thing?
You got to remember, countries like India, it's still not on Netflix.
Sure.
And,
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
India doesn't have it.
Not yet. So once
they love WWE. They love WWE.
Okay.
India.
So Raj says 5 million. I say 30 million. Mount, what do you got?
No, I'm not giving anything because you guys both are schooling me on.
I just think it's going to have to be a big number. I think 5 million is going to be
NFL did 25 million, and granted that's US, but NFL did 20. But that's Nielsen again. But still,
and didn't NFL had a run up to it? You're not saying the very first NFL game on Netflix got 25, are you?
Both of them were around that 25 million mark. And so the second one was the one that had the Beyonce halftime show. There were two NFL games on Christmas.
Despite YouTube videos you haters will see that said, nobody wants to see Beyonce do country music. Yes, they did, you idiots.
It was a big hit.
Big time. That was the highest rating in the entire game. I know that much.
Yep.
And I'm sure, I think Raw's going to have more musical guests. I think they're going to pull out all the stops on this to boost those numbers.
I do hope so, because it had a completely different aesthetic tonight. And again, like a wuss and a wimp, whatever you want to call me, I cried like multiple times, like in the beginning especially. And then by the main event going, holy crud, we got to witness this, you guys. We got to witness WrestleMania 1 to today. We're so blessed. So blessed. We really are.
Yeah.
We are.
It felt like a WrestleMania. It felt like the next biggest thing to a WrestleMania. It felt bigger than a SummerSlam. Just the way it was all done from start to finish.
And they came out of the gate. I had to like film it with because Netflix won't let you screen record on your phone, and I bootleg record it with my work cell, like twice. When The Rock came out, I'm like, I gotta record this, and I had to rewind it and go, are you kidding me? They're starting off The Rock? Are you ribbing me?
Yeah. So
straight for the throat.
In 4K, we had Old Rock come out to the middle of the ring. He was wearing glasses and he had some stubble. You could tell time has passed.
It was the
I
stuff.
wish. Okay, so and I'm being nitpicky here because The Rock is the coolest person on the planet. I'm not.
Yes.
I would not have worn those glasses. Just saying. But nonetheless, it didn't affect him being the coolest person in the room.
It was
And
cool.
everyone he walks in. Just
Baby
playing
faced it like crazy tonight, though. He ain't doing shit at Mania. That's what
Nope.
that promo told me tonight.
Bro, he was baby. He hugged Cody twice on film.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah,
Let's
I
keep
thought
the
because
illusion.
we were on Netflix, maybe we would open with like an Edge and Lita tribute with the Rock and Mama Rhodes live celebration or something.
I
But
popped for the Mama Rhodes comment. Big. Anything I popped for anything he said that night, it was the Mama Rhodes comment.
yeah,
And we gave him a dab and hugged him like, no,
Yeah.
punch him in the face.
Yeah. Or it's like,
But-
okay, maybe they're not doing Rock and Cody. Maybe
They're
they're going
not.
to do Rock and Roman because they
are.
when they were
That-
doing the whole thing at the end of that match.
They were.
You're almost expecting Rock to just hit the rock bottom.
Yeah,
I thought so for sure. But
Yeah.
But he was like, hey, great job, brother. He didn't do any of that. When he put the Ulafala on his neck, he didn't do that. He granted, okay, eventually granted, he hugged him and kissed him on the cheek, but it wasn't something I don't think he can come away from and have that match. I obviously it's going to be him versus Roman or him versus Cody. So it still can be set up.
Yeah,
And because
they still have
Rock-
a lot of time.
And because you got to remember one thing. With Rock's promo, what was he doing? He was kissing ass toward Netflix, which he had to do. He had to do that, right?
pump that
Because
stock price.
that was a main part of WWE coming to Netflix. Hey, you're going to get The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who just hosted, what was it last night? What was it, Raj? What was the award show?
He was at the Golden Globes.
And he hosted it. No big deal. And he's coming to your show on Netflix the next night. What? So he had to play the game. He had to kiss everybody's ass. That is a part of Netflix. So all the losers, they filmed, and everybody's like, "Who the hell is this jabroni?" You have to do that. You
Sarandos
have-
has had a storied career in entertainment, but sure.
but nobody in that arena knew who any of them were. My point
Yeah,
is, and nobody at home like you and me watching knew who they were. It doesn't matter. You have to play the game, and that's why you have The Rock to do exactly just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Big Feet Sneakerhead saying yes. John Alston bringing up he wasn't being The Rock. That was Dwayne on the board Johnson.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you pay him to do. Because, no offense, what other board member that we don't know the names of, by the way, that could come out and do the same?
Oh, come on,
None.
Nick Khan could have come out there and babyface
Zero.
that shit.
Nobody like, who the hell is this fat guy? Nobody be able to tell you who Nick Khan was. I know who he is. I'm a wrestler. But the rest of the mainstream folks has no clue who that guy is, with respect.
Yeah, The Rock felt more like a figurehead tonight than he did someone
And
getting ready to build a match.
And Raj, the mascot, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're blessed to have him. No big deal. The biggest action movie star in history, the biggest draw in every action movie history. I'm sorry, every action movie in history coming
Is
out
Arnold
and doing
Schwarzenegger.
that? No,
Most
no.
of the year 2000 is The Rock.
Okay, so let's be clear. In my personal opinion, it's Sly, it's Arnold 2, and it's Rock 3. But like, if we're talking money, it's Rock. Look it up.
It could
I
be
mean,
true
okay,
because
wait,
of how
wait,
money
wait.
and stuff has
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, because that's like the thing tonight. They're like highest grossing arena attendance. Yeah, tickets were $500 a pop.
Yeah, but people were buying it. That's still an impressive achievement.
It's just like WWE today, right? WWE's making the most money that they keep bragging they've ever made, right? But no disrespect. I'm still an attitude WWE fan.
Yeah.
To me, it's still a much bigger era.
Yeah. And it
With
was
respect.
it was more popular in the Attitude Era as far as
Oh my God,
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
go to anywhere, Raj. Anywhere. Hey, do you know who Stone Cold is? Yup. He's a badass.
dude, if you look at the arena tonight, you still see NWO shirts, in the stands.
Of course, and it was as well as they should. As well as they should.
So, because I know the audience just is dying to know, Samuel L. Jackson is the highest grossing star in action movies of all time, followed by Robert Downey Jr.
Action?
But they're
What am I
considering.
missing? Wait, time out. What am I missing here?
Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. I mean,
What
you know,
else?
with 3
What else?
Spider-Man movies. I mean, Samuel Jackson's been in a lot of shit, dude.
But he's not an
Jurassic
action
Park.
star. He doesn't do anything physical.
Yeah, it's true. He was in
ever.
Jurassic Park.
He
Nick
doesn't
Fury,
do shit ever physically.
he had a fight
Yeah,
in Captain Marvel.
I
good.
think as far as a leading person.
Okay, Robert
like,
Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. How about that?
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, strangely,
Well,
Zoe Saldana.
Time out. With
Because of
one movie series, Glenn, versus
No.
Arnold and Sly with multiple films.
Okay, wait. Let me just defend Zoe Saldana, who was in Avatar, highest grossing film of all time, who was in Star Trek reboot, highest grossing series, and who's in the Marvel Avengers Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who's the person?
Zoe Saldana. She plays Gamora in Guardians. She plays Uhura in Star Trek. She's in Avatar. Yeah,
She's
she's the lead. Yeah, she's the lead in Guardians of the Galaxy.
A lead.
What about the other 2 movies you just mentioned?
Avatar? I never saw Avatar.
I did. It was a good movie. I liked it. And I tried to defend Raj's point on Twitter the other day when somebody was like, Avatar sucks. I'm like, hey, listen, I didn't like it. Like, I didn't think it was the greatest thing since sliced bread either. But like, if it made the most money, that's how you judge it. Get over your feelings.
Dwayne Johnson's number 11 on the top grossing.
Wait, today or all time?
All time. Oh, you don't like now. I'll give you of the non-Marvel movies. Wow. Do you know who's the only person in the top 10 who does not owe this to a Marvel movie?
Tom Cruise.
No, Warwick Davis, because he was in the Star Wars. He was Willow. He was the dude in Willow, and he was an Ewok. Like, he was in all the Star Wars movies. He did a lot of stuff. Technicality on Warwick Davis. But yes, The Rock is up there.
We digress.
Yeah, keep going.
People know what they're tuning in for here.
My fault. This is all completely my fault, folks.
Anyhow, we have some super chats. J.R. Smith with $2 saying, welcome back, guys. Ian and I can't wait. Good to see you, JR. And Bigfoot Sneakerhead, $4.99, saying, it's good to see you guys. Matt, I sent you a message earlier. Great show. Seth needs to take some time off and rebrand.
Okay, I think Seth can come back from that loss tonight, if I'm being honest. We'll get to it when we cover the show a little bit later. But Seth, are you ribbing me? The fans chant his music. Like that's so hard to do as a talent. Have the fans chant your freaking entrance song? What?
Yeah.
So he can come back in any given time, and he can make a story out of his side of his eye bleeding on the first Go to Sleep. I went back and watched it. We were going to do this podcast. I said, guys, give me 2 more minutes. I want to find out exactly what it was that made Seth's side of his temple bleed. And it was the very first Go to Sleep that caused it, for what it's worth. And I'm going to tell you, as a wrestler, when you have a knee pad on your knee, it's very difficult to make another talent bleed with a knee pad, with the neoprene on your knee. It's very difficult. So I was surprised to see that happen. That means I'm not trying to gas anything up or saying Punk through the next horde, bro. I'm not saying that either. Maybe Seth just caught it the wrong way, but at the same time, I don't think he caught it the wrong way, because the second time he ate it, the first time he ate it, he fell on Punk's shoulders perfectly, hitting the ropes, bouncing back on his shoulders. Seth is so goddamn good. It's not even funny. He is so good. He is so talented.
Yeah. No, I agree. So let's talk about the first match tonight, which was Solo versus Roman.
Oh my God. I had goosebumps the size of bulldozers. That was our first match. What? I wanted to make posts on Twitter about that, and I didn't have enough time. So I did.
Well, by the time the first match was over, we were an hour into the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But it was awesome. It started off a little slow and turned into a wild melee, and I thought it was just entertaining as hell.
So entertaining. And how good the Romans, as usual, not as usual, but lately, his physique look. Abs, jacked, thick. So everybody that watches this on here shows me a DM from time to time. I go, hey, Matt, how do I get big, jacked, and cut at the same time? I tell them the truth. It's impossible. You can't do it without steroidal help. And you have to get big first, and you have to trim it up from there with your diet and lots of cardio to get the shredded look, the vascularity look. Roman, if you folks that follow me on social media and ask me that same question, you'll see it. He's putting in the time in the gym, not just lifting, but with cardio and with his diet. He's taking this very seriously. You could tell by his abs, his vascularity in his shoulders, in his arms. You don't just get that. And they can't take steroids nowadays, guys. So he's not doing it either. So my hat's off to Roman for getting himself once again, just like he did in Mania, in the best shape of his life. He's so impressive looking physically as a specimen. And I want to buy whatever Nikes. I thought he was supposed to have Jordans coming out, and I want to buy them.
Nice. Good match tonight. I think Roman.
The match was outstanding, and it also still, I thought, made Solo, like Roman really had to go to the back nine to kick out of all of Solo's finishers and false finishers with the phony bloodline coming in with Jacob. Jacob looked good tonight. Jacob got a great spotlight tonight, I thought, and he delivered. Same with what's his name, homeboy. Come on, from Solo's group. What's his name? The main guy, the first guy he recruited.
Tama
Tonga. Thank you. Tonga looked good too, as well, I thought. So, like, again, WWE do what they do best. They fit 20 pounds of bleep in a 5-pound bag and make it work.
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun match.
Great
good cameos.
Match. Great false finishes. Love the Rock coming back at the end.
Yeah.
To take the Ulafala off of Paul, and Paul kissing it, giving all the precedence it should have. And then a Rock placing it around his neck. So, in my humble opinion, I'm just calling it now, I do think we will see Rock vs. Roman at this next Mania. I do.
Is this one coming up in Las Vegas?
That's my personal opinion for what it's worth.
But what a missed opportunity tonight with such a huge audience, though, to not set the stage for that more clearly.
Do something to tease it a little. You don't have to do the big angle in case he can't do it, but have him take the Ulafala and then just hand it back to Paul or something, like he couldn't put it on him. Just something.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good. But
it just sets the tease.
Here's the problem. You're on Netflix for the first time, right? You gotta deliver babyface finishes. And that's what we witnessed for the whole show, right? Babyface after babyface after babyface had to win tonight. And in my opinion, if I'm booking this show, I would have done the same.
I just think watching it, I'm like, this
seems like, but it's your first introduction. But Raj, it's your first introduction to a brand new channel, a brand new audience, a brand new streaming service. You have to deliver. Oh my God! Like the good guys win. You have to do it.
Right, but you also have all those new viewers, and if you're going to do something with The Rock, there's probably going to be tuning in the next week if they see Rock do this big angle with Roman. It kind of sucks them in and gets them more excited to keep.
You don't think they can come back to that though? You don't think you come back to it, like Rock placing a loop all on his neck, going, "Wait, Rock was pretty cool about this in the beginning. What's going on now?"
But Matt, think about last year on day one and what The Rock did tonight. Like The Rock was great for fans night, but The Rock didn't do anything that's going to go viral or people are like, "Oh my God, I gotta watch The Rock's promo." You don't think that?
I disagree. I think anything he's on goes viral, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he was, again, he was spokesperson Rock as opposed to.
You could have wiped his ass in that ring; it would have went viral, in my opinion.
Well, that would have, yes, but I'm saying he didn't do anything that exciting.
He didn't have to. He's The Rock.
Okay. Yeah,
he's the one person that can put his seatbelt on, and that crap will go viral. By the way, him saying he's coming on NXT, go on social media right now. That's viral.
The Rock and NXT is going to be great.
The most awkward thing.
His daughter works there, and they're in LA.
I know, but still, he's never
NXT. What?
Because it's the best wrestling show on television. I mean, we've discussed this.
The Rock. Yeah. Of all your stuff to use him on, we're using him on NXT. I'm just gonna say, as we speak, because I gave ourselves 10 minutes or 15 minutes before we jumped on here, because I wanted to see what was going on social media. It's going berserk for NXT.
Yeah.
Thanks to him driving away in his car saying he's coming on.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
So my point is, and it stands, anything this dude does goes viral, and it's important. including the Ulafala on Roman, because
Okay.
guys, Hunter's in charge of this company now. Trust
Yes.
me, that is going to be a callback. I promise you
Okay.
that will be a callback. I guarantee it.
So let's talk about the Cena promo, which went from being like Captain America Cena to being Ricky Stenicki Cena for like 2 minutes there.
Time out. How is this today, Keegan?
No, because he was like, oh, if you look at my track record, it's statistically impossible for me to win. Like this, I'm such a loser comedy thing he was
Stenicki
doing.
was a alcoholic drunk. Come on.
Yeah,
stop.
but it was, I'm telling you, he was channeling like Oafy, funny Hollywood John Cena.
No, it's
for a couple
phony
minutes
John.
there.
I'll tell you what it was. It's phony
Okay.
John being a phony, humble John.
Yeah, it
That's
was just
what we
comedic.
witnessed.
But then he came back around to,
The fans
never
were
give
there.
up.
And
I know.
the fans were there
But you
when
know-
he said, maybe I just
Yeah.
win the Royal Rumble. They all went and
I
they
know.
lost their minds in that arena.
Well, what it shows, Matt, is that John Cena has range. As an
He
actor.
does have,
I know.
he's more, I'll tell you right now, he has more range than a Rock when it comes to movies. I'm dead ass on that. He does. He does. I've said that when I was with him at Hard Valley Wrestling, and he would be the interviewer for us. And his job was to throw us off in our promos. So, Matt Morgan, you got a match tonight with Manute Bol. Who's taller? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? What? Why Manute Bol? He's a basketball player, John. I don't understand why you're asking me this right now. And completely throwing me off my game. And not just me, all of us. Batista, Brock, everybody, Brock, you name them. And John was so good at that. He's very quick on his feet. And still to this day, I do think, and I've said it from day one to all my boys back home in Connecticut, like, oh, I thought you said your friend Prototype's going to be a big star. He's here doing nothing in WWE, get beat by Kurt Angle. I swear to God, that's what my friends would tell me, my best friends back home. I'm like, guys, give him time. I'm telling you, this guy is such a good actor and a good worker. What's a good worker? Matt, okay, guys, it means good actor. He's a great actor. He can play any character you want to play like that. And I do believe at the end of the day, John will be a huge, big, 10 times bigger movie star than we see him today. I will put my life on that. I really will. And if you guys have watched him in the different comedies we've seen him in, you've seen a little bit of his range. He has like full range. And with respect to The Rock, way more than The Rock. Way more. So The Rock hit his stride when he finally stopped doing these dumbass movies. And I used to ask my wife, which is my girlfriend at the time, I go, how is these directors in Hollywood not booking The Rock to be, wait for it, to be The Rock, the modern day Arthur Fontaine, the coolest guy in the room, cooler than the other side of the pillow, right? Because it's an easy booking for a movie. I never understood why nobody would give him that chance. And once somebody did, look what happened. He started to blow up.
The
But
one
that's,
thing,
with respect,
this
that's
is
one-dimensional. With respect,
Yeah.
that's one-dimensional. Sorry.
the one thing this is nitpicking with the Cena promo is when he brings up that he hasn't won a match in over 2,000 days.
Yeah, in 70 years, I did the math.
Yeah, it's like,
What do
oh
you
my
say?
God.
2,000
He hasn't
days?
won a match, which isn't exactly true. He won a tag match with LA
He
Knight
wins house
last year. He didn't get
shows.
the pin.
So,
But
guys, newsflash: John fancies himself the underdog, still as one of the greatest baby faces in WWE history. I promise you, I know him enough to know he still fancies himself as the underdog. I promise you. I swear to God on that.
I just feel like when you say that line, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, even though it's not totally true, it makes it seem like then it makes it seem that much more unrealistic that you're winning. It's like
What happens if he does then, Raj? We eat your
I'm
words?
sure he will. He's probably my favorite to win right now.
Against Cody.
But who
I
does
know
he face?
to win the Rumble and go
Oh,
on
yeah,
to
yeah.
Obviously. So who did Glenn asked the question? Then will his choice be versus Cody?
Yeah. If Rock's not doing Mania,
Because
I think
Rock's
yeah.
wait, Rock's definitely not doing Mania.
No, I'm saying if he's not, then I think it's Cena and Cody, and then Rock and not Rock, Roman and CM Punk, and then Gunther and Goldberg.
Whoa! This blew my mind right there. Time out.
Yeah.
So Rock won't be on Mania?
If he is, if he's not wrestling at Mania, then that's how I see it playing out with what they got.
So
Because there are reports that he's going to be doing Moana 2 reshoots, and and that
Moana
because of
2's
the
already
schedule
out,
with
I
that.
thought. Wait, time out. Moana
Oh, no,
2's
the
already out.
Moana live
the-
action.
the live
Oh,
action Moana
okay,
movie.
sorry.
Yeah. And
Which I don't
so-
understand why we need a live action version of that less than 10 years after the original.
My kid will go berserk over it. I can't.
I mean, I really liked Moana, but I'm just saying, like, the cartoon was really good. Like,
Moana
He'll go
2 was a
berserk.
gigantic hit. That was supposed to
Sure.
be like a Disney Plus
Yeah.
show, and
Which is
then
insane, by the way. It's so disrespectful.
yeah,
Because every kid and parent in America knows all those songs thanks to The Rock and Moana 1. It's a
and
fact.
and they didn't have Lin-Manuel Miranda return for this because it was supposed to be just a TV show on Disney Plus and not a full-fledged movie.
That's crazy.
And so the music was not as good. But anyway, we digress.
But it's an important point because I did think Rock was coming and he would wrestle at Mania. I did.
Yeah,
I honestly did. So I did think it would be him versus Roman Reigns, if I'm being honest with you guys.
no, we need to finally see that happen. But I think so there's a lot of intrigue with Cena. Maybe Cena beats. He's not going to beat Cody. I wish that he. But there's like it doesn't
Okay.
make
Wait a minute. Gunther could take it out.
from Cena.
Why not? They're not doing shit with Gunther with
That's
respect.
true.
Gunther has not gotten more over since he became champion. He's gotten with respect to him. And it shouldn't have happened this way, but it has happened this way. He's decrescendoed as world champion, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're gonna have
When
to
John
build
Cena
this.
when John Cena was mentioning like the big names in his promo,
Yeah.
and like he says CM Punk, people go crazy. When he said Gunther, that got the mildest reaction.
Yeah,
Of course it did, because it's not his fault. It's the company's fault.
Sure.
Once-
So
you know
him being in a top level Mania match, when you want your biggest matches possible, I don't see Gunther. And they already did the angle with him and Goldberg. Goldberg's going to be back in a few weeks.
yeah.
I think Gunther beats Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match, and so he still gets a big name win at WrestleMania, but I don't think he'll be the champ.
Glenn, what do you think of me?
Nice. I got my wife an Asia Wilson jersey for Christmas.
Fuck Asia Wilson.
League MVP 3 years in a row, but sure.
She was in Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Boys and girls, no big deal. Caitlin Clark. First time ever that's ever happened, by the way.
No, it's impressive.
It's incredibly impressive.
I'm just saying, the Aces are my favorite team, followed by the Liberty.
And this whole time, I thought you were like a women's rights person, Glenn.
And I love the Las Vegas Aces and
I'm
the New
joking.
York Liberty. And I have season tickets for the Vegas Thrill, the professional volleyball team. That's
I have
all
no
women.
clue who those people are, but nonetheless, I was just ripping you.
We did have a women's match tonight. We saw Rhea Ripley defeat
Oh my God, was
Liv
this
Morgan.
so good. And I hate to be a jerk. I predicted this finish from the beginning.
Yeah.
I did, because they needed a title change on Netflix, obviously. This was the proper title change to do it. And holy crap. Once the finish, it was a great back and forth. Very good back and forth, including Dom trying to cheat, help his girl win. It didn't work. And Rhea Ripley finally is the winner. And Dom comes in the ring, tries to hug her. She kicks him in the nuts and nukes him. But the coolest part, and maybe I'm a mark. I might be a mark saying this. So be it. Thank God. I don't care. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Hopefully I got sucked in and I'm wrong. But at the end of the match, Rhea Ripley is holding her title proudly at the rampway, and freaking Undertaker's music hits and transitions. The gongs transition into American Badass Undertaker entrance music. Taker comes around his motorcycle out, drives around the ring. Everybody's going losing their minds over it. He comes back up the rampway, gives a fist bump to Rhea Ripley, and Rhea the whole time's like, I'm shining up my title. I did not know that was supposed to happen. And I love that. I love that. And I hope she really didn't know that was coming. I really do. Because it made that moment more magical to me, watching as a fan of hers.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was time for this feud to end too. I feel like it's kind of been going on a little too long with Rhea and Liv.
Especially with somebody who's so much better than the other talent with respect to Liv Morgan.
Yeah, and to your point, Matt, it did seem like Rhea was kind of staying way out of the entranceway for Taker to ride his bike through or something. And at the end, it was a little like they didn't know what they're supposed to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe if they
So-
told her like, hey, there's going to be a big surprise at the end of your match, just keep
Yes,
the
but
entrance way open.
I feel like they didn't tell her what was going to. I really do,
Yeah,
because that
yeah.
girl's incredibly honest, both good and bad. She's a shooter. And I have a feeling that is always the cameraman when you're on that entranceway and you're holding up a title or holding your hands up victory. The cameraman's directing you in that moment.
Mhm.
So there's no question in my mind. The cameraman said, "Hey, stand to the side.
Yeah.
There's a surprise for you."
Yeah.
And she's, what? Wait, what? I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was so
Yeah.
cool. And
That was
great
cool.
call. And Raj, to your point in the beginning of our podcast, such a great callback to the first main event in Raw history with Taker.
Why haven't they had just Damian Demento in the crowd of one
Is
of
he
these?
alive? I'm not trying to be
I
a
think
jerk.
he is.
Is he alive?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I have not even heard of him doing wrestling conventions.
Yeah,
or
66 years
anything.
old.
Yeah.
Okay, so both you guys, like, he's not. Yeah, it's a great point. I could be wrong. I've never heard of him doing autograph conventions, so something tells me he might be one of those like F wrestling. I tried
Yeah.
it didn't work. I want nothing to do with it ever again. Maybe
He only retired 10 years ago. from
What?
it. Yeah, he was doing stuff on the World Wrestling Organization, making a few appearances in 2014. He was doing stuff in WWE.
Wait, Tom. So he wrestled more lately than I did.
Yeah.
More lately than I did.
Now he's retired from wrestling and he works as an artist and a sculptor.
Oh.
Well, I'm very. Raj, that was a very fake ow.
Oh,
Well, no, his gimmick, and now he's a sculptor. It just doesn't. It wasn't what I'd expect.
I mean, what? People can have hobbies, Raj.
No, we expect him to be a bank. I
Yeah.
expect Damian Demento to be a bank robber and kill people.
You know,
he had a badass gimmick. He really
Yeah.
did. I thought it was, when I was like,
It was cool.
Watching that, I thought he did a very cool gimmick. I did.
Yeah.
people have hobbies. You know, famous professional football player Rosie Greer loved to crochet. Like that was his jam. I mean, you know, we're all allowed to do, you know, different things.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic story. I will just say this. I will just say this. That our boy, when we were kids growing up, like I thought like he was, I sound like a loser saying this now and a complete idiot. I thought he was the bigger of the two stars. I swear to God, I did. With his shoulder pads and his look and his mohawk, like this guy's very demented. He's gonna kill somebody.
Especially
And
at that time
Taker's
when they
going
were
down tonight.
at that time when they were bringing in like Duke the Dumpster Drosy and Bastion Booger and all these
Dumb
like really
gimmicks.
bad
This
gimmicks.
dude was serious.
Yeah. I mean, Undertaker's original outfit did not scream long time character. You know what I mean? With the purple.
Right.
Purple then gray.
Yeah. Like,
Seemed like a Zeus-like character, like it'll last, you know, be a big main event opponent for a few months, and then
it was
they move
very
on.
cartoon originally.
For him to
Eventually
make
Hulk-
it work as long as he did is
and
amazing.
then eventually Hulk Hogan eats you up.
Yeah,
But like he was
exactly.
lucky Hulk left to WCW when he did. He really is
Mhm.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more thing, it looked like at the end of that Rhea Taker segment, it looked like Taker was like, Rhea, you want to hop on? We ride, and she's like, no,
I thought the same thing.
Let's raise our hands.
I thought the same thing, Raj. I'm like, why didn't she jump in the back? What's going on here? I thought the same exact thing, Raj.
Said that she wants to do an homage to the Undertaker Carmelo Hayes spot from NXT a year ago.
I have no idea what that was. No, Glenn. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
You don't remember when Undertaker was on NXT?
With what's his name? Steiner's kid. I do remember that. Yes.
He did the American Badass there too, right?
Yeah, with Carmelo. He did a thing at the end with the.
I don't remember Carmelo and him. Though.
Wasn't it with Carmelo?
No, it was him and Steiner's kid. And I remember this, that maybe like they thought they were doing the Brothers of Destruction, fists in the air from behind gimmick. That's the best I could take from that. But you could tell she did not think that was going to happen. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a mark being worked here. I really don't believe she thought that was coming.
Yeah.
What else? What else we got?
What else we got? The cool down match of the night.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I know, right? Was Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso.
Great match. Holy crap. Jey Uso come out. What's my guy's name? I got two of his Nikes. Come on. I'm brain farting. Glenn.
No,
He's super popular. I feel, where's my work phone when I need it? because I took notes on the show tonight. I can't remember.
Someone in the
his
chat will get it. Someone in the chat will get it.
I have two of his
Wait,
Nike low tops.
While we wait for that, we got a coming soon promo for Penta.
Yep.
That was kind of
Oh
cool.
wait,
And they basically set that up, as Sean Garner's bringing up in the chat, that they set it up for him to be Chad Gable's opponent next Monday.
Because oh my God, I'm such a moron. I missed that. I missed the coming soon. I did not see that. I saw Chad Gable calling out any luchador. I thought for sure like he was going to feed him Rey Mysterio and maybe he'd get over on Rey. Because Chad Gable needs to be built, not taking L's.
What you guys did you guys ask who the
Travis
does
Scott.
the theme song for Raw?
Who
That's
was
Travis Scott, and he came out.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. So
Came out smoking a joint.
So guys, with respect, we're as Caucasian as it gets, at least me and Glenn are. And my bad. I got two of his low top sneakers. My wife has one pair, and I should have known that. That's horrible. Anyways, Travis Scott is a huge star in rap and in R&B. And he was introduced, and the crowd did not really feel him at first. But when Jey Uso made his entrance and came up behind him, the crowd lost their absolute minds.
Yeah,
and
I thought he got a really good reaction, even at first. I mean, granted, not like Jay. I mean, Jay is super over.
Oh my God!
You saw me. I think you saw me in a Twitter argument with some of these guys though last week, and when I was saying about new stars that WWE created, it doesn't mean they're young. It doesn't mean
who cares?
That they just came in. I'm like, Jey Uso is way more over than he was 2 years ago. He's like the legit star now. Even though he's been there for 15 years ago, he is a star now.
And I'll give you. And people are gonna be pissed at me. I'm an AEW fan. I love watching their show. I never miss an episode. But with respect, guys, there's not a person on AEW can hold a candle to how over Jey Uso is. It's not even debatable. I'll fight any one of you on this topic. Okay? Because he has an entire arena doing his thing with him. He did it tonight on Netflix. By the way, out popping Travis Scott. You idiots. He has his own Jordan line, his own Nike line. This guy's very popular. You heard Michael Cole introduce him, and he still came out and out-popped that guy, a legitimate, real-world, mainstream celebrity, and he out-popped him times 10. You could go back and watch it, guys. I'm not lying. Go back and watch it. Tell me I'm lying.
Also, because I'm not crazy, it was Carmelo Hayes and The Undertaker.
Oh, my God. Undertaker, don't whore yourself out to that.
They were up against AEW that week. WWE had to pop the rating.
Well, you both were right because he did the thing with Braun Breaker earlier in the show.
But that
was a digital exclusive.
That was a terrible decision, with respect.
No, we shouldn't see Undertaker for a while after tonight. We need a break.
And I don't want to see him doing this fist thing in the air with a midget.
And Marie is saying you don't really understand how over Jey Uso is until you are sitting in a crowd eating with Jay. I went to a SmackDown in October. Incredible. I went with my daughters to a Raw last summer. Same thing. Jey Uso was like the most over crowd. Him and CM Punk, most over guys on the show, and the crowd was just going nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, so Glenn, if you're in the arena, are you doing that?
I would do that. But I would kind of do it kind of like I'm half mocking it, half doing it for real. So that way it could go either way. You know what I mean?
So
I would do that thing. Here's my move.
Go.
I would look around. I'd be like,
you go through the motions. You go.
Yeah, I would do it, but I would do it kind of like detached. You know?
Would you do the overbite?
Oh yeah, like I'm feeling it.
So Michael Cole, it was such an eyesore. Michael Cole, don't get up on the table and do that. You're not supposed to get up on the table and do that. Pat McAfee's supposed to clown you for not getting up on the table and doing that. That's the commentary I wanted to hear. And Pat was absolute magic as usual.
Yeah.
As usual, as a shoot. Hilarious the entire episode tonight.
And then Cole said, "Don't yeet on me," which that just sounded dirty.
Of course it did. Of course it sounded dirty. He's too old, and maybe I'm too old. But no.
Skeet. It's not that long ago.
Oh my God. That's my point. That is totally my point. Like, sit your ass down and let Pat McAfee clown you for sitting down. Right? That's what Pat offers. and his energy is endless. And by the way, I forgot to say this in the very first match. Pat did an amazing job of explaining to fans on Netflix for the first time coming to Raw, never watching it ever, to explain why Roman is now being cheered when at times he was being booed. And when he took time away, the fans wanted the OTC back. He did such a good job of. That's why Pat is so good. Like, I would pay him whatever he wants. He does the best job of moving these storylines forward, and is an amazing job for commercial fans that have never watched us before.
Yeah. And I think also, if you're getting casual fans and everything, you're seeing lapsed fans see Triple H, then new fans see Pat McAfee, and then you're seeing The Rock, and then you have all these faces on the show that you know from somewhere else, even if you're not a wrestling fan.
But Pat does the best job of making it make sense if you don't watch our product every week. He does
even like a
damn good job. Sorry.
Even that Dominic spot that they did with Rhea, like they explained the whole story in in like 90 seconds.
They did. They being Pat, Dirty Dom, and like, he's so good at that. He shits on Dom every second he can do it. It's a great job. Great job, Pat. Pat is like, whatever they pay him, I'm just gonna be honest, it's not enough.
Yeah, he's great. And that main event tonight with Rollins and CM Punk. I mean, this a year ago we thought this was going to be a headline Mania match. Yeah,
for sure.
So this was amazing to see this tonight.
And maybe we still see. Who knows? I just know that this was wow. The fans were still there, right? They were still very participatory. They're very involved in it, and I was happy for Punk, right? Because look what happened with him with AEW, right? I'm not trying to bring up AEW haters. I'm not trying to do that, but at the same token, look what could have happened, and then he goes to WWE, and now look what's happened, right? What? Like, he had an entire arena. Like, Seth Rollins is very over, you guys. You have an entire arena normally chanting his music, and tonight Punk out-popped him on Netflix. So if I'm Tony Khan watching it going, how can I not just get over myself that this guy bumped 2 TV monitors off their kilter or whatever?
Matt, he feared for his life.
That the moment he said he feared for his life, when 2 TV monitors that got bumped into when they were going back and forth, that's when he feared for his life. No offense, Tony. You deserve to lose him in that moment.
And they showed the video. Why did they show the video?
That was the worst part.
That was even worse because we could have just in our heads go, wow, CM Punk must have bitch slapped him in the face or took his you know what out and dick slapped him or something. Like something crazy.
I'm sure even if in the most jaded
we would never know.
You had something way worse than what you actually saw.
Right.
In your head.
Yes. I assume he's power driving Tony Khan.
Yeah, I thought like he's like really going after Tony Khan.
Hey, Tony,
back.
Do something or I'll do it. No, you're not. Okay, get in here, motherfucker. Load him in. Tombstone.
I'm expecting him to look. You remember Latimer in the program?
Oh, yes. That's how he made him sound. Bro, that's exactly Raj how he made him sound like Latimer from the program movie. Yes. Roid Rage City. Yes, they made him sound that way. That's hilarious. That's a great analogy. Folks that are our age won't understand that. Guys need to look it up. It's a perfect.
It's a great movie too.
Watch the program, but don't lay down in the middle of traffic.
No, they cut that scene out like right after it came out.
Good, they should have because that's so dumb.
Yes.
Yeah, because people were actually doing it.
Vladimir on the gas and then zooming in on his eyes, and his eyes have all these like crazy like blood vessels popping in them and stuff.
Well, that was Andrew Bernarski that played him.
Is that who it was?
I believe so. Yeah, he played Zangief in Street Fighter the movie.
Huh, interesting.
He was also in Higher Learning.
Yeah, and Leatherface in one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes.
Yeah.
Wow, he had a pretty good career then.
Yeah, decent. Anyhow, the main event tonight. So, I mean,
Seth Rollins versus Punk.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I felt like CM Punk was winning, but they told a good story to get there.
So I did not think he was winning.
Really?
I thought WWE was not screw the pooch, but leave everybody on some type of major cliffhanger somehow, like with Rollins would win, but like something crazy would happen to cause Rollins to win with an outside interference from somebody none of us are expecting. So when Punk won, I was like, this is how it should have ended. And it was perfectly fed by Rollins in eating the two GTSs. Could not have been any better. Punk covering him drunkenly, right? Knocked out, right? We can't say queer shit anymore, but that's what in pro wrestling we used to say when you're knocked out, which is stupid when you think about it. But back in the day, that's what we used to call it. But when you're knocked out on your feet and you somehow fall on your opponent and you pin them accidentally, 1, 2, 3. It was a great finish. And I do think Seth can come back from that because it's not like Punk like took his leg and pinned him and hooked him and this is it, 1, 2, 3. It was he just happened to fall on Seth after the second GTS. Seth wrestled in an outstanding match. He always shows why this cat's the MVP of this entire company more times than not. He just is.
He's great.
He is great. God, he's so good. I wish he was around when I was there. God, he would have made me look so good.
And when you think about he's being a top star and doing the job for him, doing the job for Bronson Reed, getting Bronson Reed over.
Oh, that was huge.
At WrestleMania.
I hope they're paying him for it. I hope they're paying him for it. Raj, you hit it right in the head with saying Bronson Reed alone. Like, not many people that's a main event talent would have done that and be like, okay, no problem. I'll make your next main eventer for you. Right? They're Seth doing it though.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really good. I did think at the end we were going to get some sort of go home surprise though. I thought they were going to fake it.
I did too.
Yeah.
But,
even like Charlotte Flair or someone coming back, just something that
at the very end, Charlotte Flair comes out after the CM Punk Seth Rollins match.
Well, just during the show,
she's gonna be in the Rumble. I think Becky's gonna be in the Rumble as well.
And when people say there were no surprises, that's because we follow on the internet. So many people probably didn't know that The Rock was going to be.
Why did there have to be surprises? That's what. Listen, guys, there doesn't have to always be surprises. Sometimes, like I always say, wrestling predictability is a good thing. More times than not, when they do it the right way.
Yes, Marie. I'm sorry.
Oh, are we gonna talk again? You want to get to that? Good.
Yes, Marie. I did see Topanga and Will Friedle, Daniel Fishel and Will Friedle from Boy Meets World. And that's a lot of celebs tonight.
Topanga was in the crowd.
Yes. My wife reminding me that I blew it the time that I met her at one of my concerts, and we were talking extensively, but she was fighting with Lance Bass that night. Weird coincidence. She ended up marrying a different former white rapper who is less attractive than me. So maybe I really did have a shot.
Wait, time out. Wait. 20 seconds. Are you saying you're a white rapper, Glenn?
Matt, we've been over this on the podcast before. We played the songs.
Raj, don't encourage it.
But every time I see Daniel Fishel, I'm like, I had a shot. I legitimately had a shot.
No, Glenn, you did not have a shot.
I think I had a shot. She was fighting with Lance Bass that night. Their relationship didn't quite work out. I wonder why. But anyhow, a lot of celebs in the audience tonight. Macaulay Culkin seemed like getting the largest pop.
I just watched Home Alone 2 the other last
WWE
week.
superstars got the wait. Time out. The WWE superstars that were in the audience, they got the biggest pop.
The big pops too. I mean, Macaulay Culkin. I mean, come on, Home Alone.
What'd you think of Steiner's kid? He got a very big pop.
Braun Breaker, yeah. People like Braun Breaker.
Braun got a very big pop, which was encouraging. I was annoyed that they introduced somebody that was sitting next to LA Knight before they introduced LA Knight. I didn't like that. And they introduced the War Raiders before LA Knight. I did not like that.
Everybody loves the War Raiders.
LA was getting the most sustained pop. So they got Ray got a big pop. War Raiders got a quick pop, they moved on quickly.
Go to LA Knight first, then. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But you don't want to go to the long pop and then quick.
You don't open with the showstopper, man.
Wait, time out. Raj, go back to that question. Can you answer
Bigfoot
that,
Secret. People are saying this. I didn't see this news today.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either. That's a smart move if they did. Very smart
WWE
move.
Hire former TNA Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore, not D'Amore.
D'Amore, sorry.
D'Amore. D'Amore.
D'Amore. Sorry, I was pronouncing it like it's written, but
don't pronounce it like it's written.
Okay. Why does he have the apostrophe in his name?
D'Amore.
That's okay, sure.
Italian, Glenn. Wait, time out. Raj, do you have an answer to that?
I don't think I haven't heard it, that he has. So
Oh my
I don't
God,
think so.
Raj has no
I don't
more
think so.
scoops. Everybody.
Raj's
I
been
don't
busy
think so.
traveling the world.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, we'll stay tuned. Raj will dig into it. Follow Raj on Twitter.
Yeah, come
We'll
on,
get to
Raj.
the bottom of this.
Find that out for us.
Yeah.
That's a good dude.
Okay. What else?
Amazing show.
It was a good
Again,
show.
like I said at the beginning of the podcast and when at the beginning of the whole show, we saw the entry from Triple H on social media, right? Introducing the whole new Netflix era. And I definitely teared up watching it because, and I said at the beginning of this podcast, guys, pro wrestling, I don't care who you are, how cool you think you are. If you're a pro wrestling fan, this thing had been your very best friend. When maybe a girl had dumped you in middle school, or a girl would not go out with you in middle school, or high school, you're not the cool kid, right? College, you're still figuring yourself out as a young man. You could always count on WWE Monday Night Raw, right? And to see it transition into what we've seen it transition into tonight, absolutely made me cry more than once. That's the truth.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see if they could keep this up, keep it going. I like the look of the show. They changed the mats. I know some people don't like the ads on the mat. I don't care about the ads, but
I don't care
I
about
like
the
the
ads
black
either.
mat and the
I liked
look.
it too. I liked it too, Raj.
I just think the black mats with the ads is going to look really dated in 10
Really,
years.
I feel
when we
like
look
it's the
back on it.
opposite because
Really?
like
You
all
think
the
so?
major sports have that. UFC has it, boxing has it.
I think it's going to look like Ico Pro.
So if it's wrestling centric, I can understand your point, but like not with the Paul boxing matches we see and at UFC. Like
See,
it's the same.
yeah.
It's the same thing because I go back to TNA and we had 5-hour energy drink. 5-hour energy drink. Nobody's drinking that now, right?
Yeah.
But like it was in the middle of a ring with Kurt Angle wrestling AJ Styles. Doesn't make that match any less classic because the dumbass Brandon in the middle. Nobody cared.
I don't know. I think like when boxing, when you start seeing the Golden Palace like temporary tattoos on guys out there, that was just kind of like, this kind of cheapens it a little bit. Not
It
that
does. It does. I'll argue it cheapens it more at the time than it does in history. That's my opinion.
That's how I am with football stadiums that get named after, Gillette and, like crypto.com.
I don't even know what they're named after.
Yeah, because you think about 50 years from now and be like, it was a hot August night at the crypto.com arena.
Yeah. I mean, I still call it Mile High Stadium here in Denver. But,
because it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the sponsorships themselves, but I get it. That's what it is.
And
but as far as the overall look, I thought I liked it better than the SmackDown look.
And wake up call, folks. This is what's going to keep our favorite sports teams, our favorite wrestling company in business, guys. So if that's what it takes to get along and move on, I'm with it. Because again, like I'm not exaggerating. Grammar school, middle school, high school, college. Nothing was my best friend more than pro wrestling. And I'm not alone in that. It's every one of you watching this right now.
I mean, I had a really close friend named Ed. He was a good guy. We got each other through some difficult times. But we do watch wrestling together.
I just gave the train the top exclamation mark and you just completely fucked it up, Glenn.
I didn't step on it earlier when you guys were like, oh, wrestling was there for me. It was my friend. And I was going to say like, well, hey, I was popular and well-liked. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, I was not, Glenn. So how about that?
I'm kidding. I'm joking. For me, it was comic books.
And
comic books
most wrestling fans were
I
always
know.
be made fun of for being wrestling fans. So
I know. I'm just joshing y'all. Do the kids still say that?
No, they don't. White
Okay.
rapper.
I've never said it.
You're just joshing somebody. Okay. Yeah, Jordan Grace is going to probably show up in the Rumble and sign with WWE. Her TNA contract is up.
Hope so. Hope so.
Sean Gardner. Sorry about that. I think everyone's expecting her there.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was the first one to call it?
Yeah, Matt pretty much got the scoop last year.
Scoops Morgan over here.
I did.
I know.
But we didn't put it out there because it's a friend. I promised her I wouldn't.
And guys, thank you. We had so many chats tonight. We
I
appreciate
know.
it. I know we haven't been, the three of us haven't done a show in a while. Just been crazy busy with our schedules, and so we really appreciate you guys coming out tonight. And and we're going to be better about this year.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Cool, y'all. Well, everybody follow Raj at the Raj Giri, Matt's at BP Matt Morgan. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. We'll catch you back here next time on Gigantic Pop. Everybody, take care.
Thank you, gang. Love you.